Okay, here we have a Sub-Zero ice machine. Model and serial number are posted right here on the left side of the wall. This is a model UC, meaning under counter. 15 is the width of the ice machine, and the I stands for ice machine. So it's a UC-15I. And so in this video, we're going to show you how to take it apart and put it back together so you can make general repairs. We've also in a previous video showed how to bypass the filter, because one of the weaknesses with this machine is that these filter heads leak, and I've seen it cause a lot of damage in some homes. So you can use the machine without a filter. Just take it out and it won't use that. So, but anyway, we have a video that shows you how to bypass that. You could put an inline filter on your home machine underneath your sink or wherever your water supply is. Okay, stand by. We're going to take this thing apart. Okay, we can start by taking off the kick plate in the front. Use a 5/16 nut driver to remove the screws. There's 4 screws in here. Okay, now turn the machine around and you can take the back cover. Take the back cover off here. Now I'm wearing a pair of video glasses so I can work with 2 hands. And I apologize for the quality of the video. I have to remind myself to move very slowly. Remove this lower plate. And now you can see that this machine has a pump in it. This is a drain pump. And so what this thing does is it hooks into a drain hose through here, and it goes out to the drain. All right, this is your spray pump. Disconnect for the spray pump. We'll get the inside apart and show you how to take that out. You basically just pull that wire out, and we'll show you how to pull it down. Stand by. Okay, to remove the top, you don't have to take the whole back down. You just have to take these screws out here, but the top of this machine just kind of lifts up, pull it backwards. There's these little slots here that go under these little tabs, and that's what holds the top of the machine on. So we remove that. Now you can see the evaporator. It's where the cubes are made inside these little molds here. So it's about there's 16 cubes made at a time. When it goes into a defrost cycle, the hot gas from the condenser flows through a hot gas valve, and it allows the hot gas to flow through this coil here, and then it sprays water over it, and that's what defrosts the cubes so that they drop down. Okay, so now we're going to remove this cover here. Right in there. I'll set this aside, and then we're going to open up the door so you could see. Now we're going to remove this curtain right here. You see it sits in these slots right here. You take this cover off like so. Set that down. Let's pull that out. You see those slots up there? That's how you put the curtain back in that way. We'll show you how that when we put it back together. For right now, we're just taking it apart so you can see how it's done. To remove the door, you take this screw out in the front, you loosen the one in the back, you take this one off in the front, and then you see those keyhole slots, you just That's it. Do the same thing down here on the bottom. And you just lift the door off. And this is the spray nozzle here, and this is attached to the hose in the back. Okay, so we got to get some tools for that. Stand by. Okay, this part here, this is called an ice ramp. So when the cubes fall down, they slide on here and they slide into the bin. To remove the water trough, you just push these tabs outward so you can, and push down, and then this thing drops. As soon as it drops down, it probably would be helpful to take off the clamp. To do that, just like that, you drop that clamp off. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. And then you pull off this hose. Okay, once you take the clamp off, then you pull this hose off, and you pull this reservoir out. Put that on the side. And to remove the spray nozzles, you have to take this hose off the pump, and there's another clamp on here. So let's take that clamp off. Okay, move that clamp. Off the pump and pull out the nozzles. See, there's 4 spray nozzles in there. That aside. To take the pump out, there's a 5/16 bolt right in here. And you just have to take that bolt out. You disconnect the pump from here. And you loosen this bolt. It holds the pump up. Okay. You can see right here. See that offset? So when you tighten that up, this part of the washer is actually what holds that pump up. So we just drop the pump down like this, and you pull the pump in from here, and this is how you change the pump. I'm going to take off the control panel next on the top so you can see the control panel up here, right here. This cover comes off. And here's your control panel, keypad. This is the board right here, transformer. Okay, now you remove these 4 screws here, and it will allow you to gain access to the control area. Well, you just kind of lift this up. Like that. You remove that plate, and then this whole thing lifts out. You just disconnect the wires. I have another one here. Don't worry about losing track of the connections because they're all different connectors and there's no way you can cross connect them. So here, the whole box comes out, and you can disconnect. Let's see, we've got the sensor for the hot gas defrost, which is connected right here. That's that wire, those black wires right there. And we have these wires in here. This is in case you want to get to the control board. Screws here hold it in. 1, 2 screws there. That board comes out, and here is your interface, and you just slide that right out. You can see it's got some little slots in here that it holds it in place. It's not really screwed in. And when you're finished doing that and you want to put it back in, just line up these holes over here, the wires in, like so, and then you flip it around so that these are all coming up there. Okay, so let's, now of course if you have to remove the evaporator, you have to cut that out. That's a sealed system job. That's a, like I say, experienced. If you're not experienced, don't try it, because good chance that you'll never get it back together right. If you have the experience working with sealed systems, then you know to remove this, you have to cut it out as if you were doing a sealed system job. Okay, so now we're going to put this back in, and it slides in behind these two pillars here, like that. And then you just put the screws back in. All right. Okay, now we're going to show you how to get to the water valve in here. You have to tilt the machine back a little bit and remove these two screws. Just like that. Okay. Now this piece here is screwed in under here, so you need to take those out. You know, there's plenty of instructions on how to disassemble and assemble this machine on our website, subzerospecialist.com. Just click on Tech Help and scroll down to where it says UC-15I, and there's a complete instructions, operational data, tells you how it's supposed to work, and sealed system pressures and everything else. Okay, remove that support. This is the control for the bin level. Determine the level of ice cubes that you want to maintain in there. This is your condenser. You keep that clean. Here's your water valve, and you can see it has these quick connect fittings on them. And here's your manifold for your water filter. You can pull this down. It's just pressed in. So take that cover off, and so now you can see the manifold. And there's two 5/16 screws, and to take the manifold off, and to take the manifold off, you have to remove this shield here, and you just press in and pull it out.